怒りに燃える闘志があるなら巨大な敵を撃てよ撃てよ撃てよ正義の怒りをぶつけろガンダム機動戦士ガンダムガンダム
Mobile Suit Gundam was tragically cut short when funding was pulled, leading to the end of the series getting rushed out the door, and it almost found itself completely at death's door right then and there. Clover, the company responsible for producing toys based on the show, was on the verge of imploding, and with good reason. The die-cast toys that they had been producing were off-model, and the series was popular with an older set of kids who didn't buy toys like this that much. Bandai bought the license and started producing a totally different set of toys, model kits. The popularity of the series grew, and the films based on the show only bolstered it. It was a bona fide hit, and was only going to get more popular. Following the end of the series, Bandai took things one step beyond, and introduced system injection, wherein one sprue, which is the big bit of plastic that all the parts come on, had multiple colors on it. At this point, glue and paint was required to complete the look. However, at this time, they lacked articulation and detail, being very primitive by current standards. Starting with the Zeta Gundam line, they introduced the use of polycaps, which dramatically increased posability and articulation. After that, starting with the Gundam Sentinel line, they all became snap-fit models, which eliminated the need for glue. And finally, after Char's counterattack, all Gunpla would feature snap-fit assembly. Now the kits would start to resemble what the modern hobby community would call a typical Gunpla. The most common type of Gunpla is the 1 to 1/44 scale, which usually put the kit at about 5 inches tall. After that is the 1 to 100 scale, standing around 7 inches, depending on the suit. 1 to 60 is about a foot tall, and from there you're getting into hyper-specialized kits, with a pretty steep price point. 1 to 48 scale kits were called mega-sized models and released in 2009, and were discontinued in 2012. And the 1 to 35 scale kits were focused on military vehicles of a more conventional scale, though still in the Gundam universe. 1 to 1/44 scale kits come in 2 grades currently. While there are the no-grade kits that are all over the place as far as quality is concerned, they're typically released in tandem with the series that is currently airing. Most Gundam kits will either be high-grade or real-grade. High-grade is the standard line spun off from the advances from Char's counterattack style models. As a contrast, starting in 2010, the real-grade line came out. These are, in essence, shrunk-down 1 to 100 scale kits, featuring extreme posability and detail for its size, even above the high-grade kits themselves. 1 to 100 scale kits are generally called Master Grade, or MG. Introduced in 1995, they're both more expensive and more intensive than their smaller counterparts. The line was extremely popular and has folded in high numbers of other kits as recasts in recent years from other series. Their main feature is the inner skeleton, like the proper machines in the show, and the armor being built on top of it. And they have nearly unmatched posability. Additionally, Master Grade also includes other machines, such as Mecha from Patlabor, or Battler Dunbean, and characters from Kamen Rider. The 1 to 60 scale machines are generally called the Perfect Grade, and feature the greatest level of detail possible, while still being readily available for the mass market. Because of their expense and complexity, there's only a few of them available, but for the dedicated hobbyist, it's well worth the expense. Other than that, the biggest Gundam model ever made is the 1 to 1 scale RX-78-2 Gundam, standing currently in Odaiba. Sadly, it's not for sale. Building a Gundam kit is exceptionally simple, and the directions can be followed even if you can't read a word of Japanese. The models are designed in a very simple way, and without too much work, you can put one together in a few hours, depending on the grade. Now, the kits will always likely look better when outlined with Gundam markers and painted with the accompanying type of paints, but the basic kits do look perfectly passable for the most part. Now, if only they could come up with a game to go along with it. Luckily, there are shows like Gundam Build Fighters and manga like Plamo Kyoshiro to give it a taste of this kind of game, but at this juncture, it's a pure hobbyist field. According to the Nikkei, Bandai reported a 76.7 billion yen profit, or 641 million American dollars, off of Gundam-related sales in 2014. And it currently operates a total of 17 multicolor injection molding machines around the clock to produce as many as 24 million units a year, including non-Gunpla model kits. Gunpla is every bit as crucial to the success of Gundam as the characters and the writing, because like it or none, mecha shows are basically 20-minute toy commercials, no matter the intention behind the production itself. However, almost all little boys love their great big war machines, as we'll see in the next episode when we take a look at Gundam 0080 War in the Pocket.